Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. I'm so excited because it sounds really silly, but I'm like, I haven't seen y'all in so long. First of all, report cards, y'all took me down. Like the weekend was a no-go for any type of filming. And then Sunday, I had a day party for one of my really close friends in DC, which was great. And so I just didn't get to do filming. And then, like I said, report cards. So before that, I was doing declutters. And so even though I'm not seeing y'all, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is the first time I'm seeing y'all. So I'm really excited, even though the video's not like, you know, it's just a roundup. But you know what? That's cool too. So if you want to see what I tried in January and let you know what I'm thinking, it's actually not a huge pile for once. Keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So the crazy thing about me and filming is I'm such a procrastinator. Like I knew when I got up, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Wednesday. I don't have karate. I don't have to stay after school for meetings. Like it's gonna be a big recording day. I'm so excited. I'm gonna play with the palette. But it takes me a long time to actually sit down and film. Like I have to get ready. Ready means, okay, there was stuff I needed to put in the laundry. I needed to make sure the boys had their pizza so that, you know, they're chilling out, even though they know they can come in here whenever they want. I took a walk. Like there was just a lot of little things I had to put in place. I had to redo my base makeup. And then I just filmed these two looks, which are with the deep side of the Verona palette from Nomad. Oh, y'all, okay. Hopefully this is gonna be up Friday. Yes, that's all I can say is yes. I am, and I've only used that side. I don't know what to say. So now I'm sitting here and I'm just so excited, y'all. I'm really excited. So we're just gonna talk about what I used in January. And I just wanna say, first of all, thank you to all of your responses and comments. So I'm still responding to comments like from the end of Frizzmas. So just bear with me because I really like to make sure I have some type of response to every comment. I just feel like when you take time to comment, that really means a lot to me. And when you comment like a long comment, sometimes those are the last ones for me to respond to because I really like to sit down when I have like full attention and when I'm present, because I'm not present a lot of times in my life. And so that's one time where I'm like, somebody took the time to sit down and write. It might be weeks later, but it's gonna be a genuine comment back. Well, they're all genuine, but you know what I'm saying. I also wanna say thank you to being receptive to me bringing Tyrone in for the declutters, because most people do declutters, and you know, one of my friends on here pointed out to me in the comments that it's nice having, or actually a couple people, it's nice having the perspective from a non-makeup lover in the declutter, because it's a positive thing because they don't understand, but sometimes it's a negative thing because they don't understand. But overall for me, having Tyrone in the declutter has been very positive. I'm so in my head about makeup because it's my passion and my love. You know what I'm saying? And just the fact that he's like, Cara, these are the same shades, or Cara, blah, blah, blah. It has been extremely helpful. And the reality is that I'm not sure if I would have gotten rid of as many palettes. Now, there's 1 or 2 videos left. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should divide it into one, or I'm trying to figure out whether or not to divide it. Like just have one big video or just have 2 small ones. Y'all can let me know what you think. And I kind of was feeling like maybe these are annoying or people may feel like it's wasteful. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to be in the same. Hi. You did? Let me see. August, are you working on anime? Oh, what is it? Oh, The Simpsons? Oh, this is good. This is good. It's Bart. This is really good. He's going to love this. Mr. Tyrone loves The Simpsons. You are just too cute.
Look on the back.
Oh, look on the back. Sonic. We have fine. They haven't seen you in a minute. Why don't you say hi?
Hi.
August. All right, go ahead with yourself. You're so cute. What's Marky doing?
Yelling.
He's yelling?
Just kidding.
Oh, he's playing. Okay. It's so cute. Go ahead with the tooth that's still not grown in. Okay, it's okay. Actually, this tooth is really coming in, and then the other one, why? Did I tell y'all how Marky has a cavity and he has to get, like, go to the OR because we couldn't fill it in?
ER.
Okay. Why they can't fill it till June? I don't even know
I
what to say about
worked so
that.
hard on this.
You did, and it's very nice, and I love it.
Tyron would love it.
He's gonna love it. He's probably on his way. You should text him. I forgot everything that I was saying. I didn't know. I think I was saying maybe I didn't know if it was gonna be annoying to do the declutters, but I think what I was saying was I already feel the positive aspects of what I've decluttered so far, because there have been a few things that have been tempting, not as many, which I think is great too, but like the Shroud palette, the Moonfall palette from Shroud, I was like on the cusp, and I'm like, nope, I think I can dupe that. And I still want to try to do a video on that if I can, but it's probably too late if you already bought it. But I was thinking the Sydney Grace Temptalia palettes could dupe the vibes, you know what I mean? Not exact, but really close. And I was thinking some of my other shades, like my Natasha Denona shades and things like that. So, you know, I'm already starting to say, let me take a second look. Let me look what's in my collection. And not that my collection is small yet, because it's not, but it's what, at least 30 palettes down, where I'm able to say, okay, let me take these out. Like I immediately thought of the Temptalia palettes with the Shroud, you know, so, and then I thought about how I revamped It's Freaking Bats and used my own shimmers, and even one of those shimmers by Sydney Grace, the shade Commission, might be a nice dupe. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna get that. So I'm still pretty much, you know, at the same spot. What I will say I ordered was the Sydney Grace February bundle. And that's already a given because I'm getting those bundles every month. And I love what Sydney Grace is doing, where they're taking their Instagram and duping like Tom Ford, Makeup by Mario. Like they're doing some great things on their Instagram. So I'm really happy about that. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your input. Thank you for accepting Tyrone and liking him. I know y'all like him because he be saying off the wall stuff. And he does that all the time. He is not doing that for the video. He's off the chain. Like some of the stuff he says, I'm like, I've never heard anybody say that before. So we're gonna go ahead and get into everything I tried in January. It's really a small pile, which is crazy because I'm used to having like a whole big pile. I'm happy about it though. Like I don't wanna have like this widespread situation anymore. And I already see it, you know, slimming down. I know that some months will have more than others. Like that's just the reality. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with a primer. The primer that I tried this month was the Dior Forever Glow Veil. And I don't have the concealer right here with me, but I tried that too. So I'll speak about that in just a second. The Glow Veil is, they have a Glow Veil and then the Velvet Veil, I believe. And this is pretty much just a glowy primer. Now what I will say is I like it. It's glowy, but it's not like the Natasha Denona Hygiene. I'm almost done my second bottle of the Natasha Denona Hygiene primer, and I think I would prefer that to this one just because it's even glowier. And if you don't like super glowy and you just want a little glow, I think this will do it for you. But if you want like a lot of glow, the Natasha Denona one, that one, yes. I don't know if I would repurchase this. I don't think it's bad. I think it looks really great under the makeup, but I feel like I see more of the glow using the Natasha Denona Hygiene, and that's the look that I go for personally. I don't have oily skin. I just have like normal skin. So the glowier, the better for me. But if you just want a little bit like more like just radiant natural, I think this is great, but it's expensive. I think it's like $50. So, you know, I will say this though, with Dior being at Ulta now, and of course Sephora, because I got this from the Dior site, you know, you do have a chance to get it with some percentage off or points. So if you're interested in it, you could purchase it that way. I did purchase the Forever concealer, and I'll be totally honest, I don't feel like I'm the one to ask about differences in concealer. I really do have a hard time. What I will say is that the Forever one, the new one, the reformulated concealer, does have a scent to it that the old one doesn't have. But as far as concealer, these are my favorite concealers. Like the Dior one is my favorite, which is why I wanted the new formula, but it's really hard for me to tell the difference. So I'm sure I can direct you to somebody who has like the comparison, and I'll try to put that in the description box, but it's not me. I don't know. I think the Dior, the old one works great. I think the new one works great. And I think that even though the smell isn't potent to me, will bother some people. I know that it has bothered some people. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. You can still see a little bit of sheen here, but it's just not like the Hygen. So let's go now into blush. I'm not doing this in any particular order. I did pull out my Melt Cosmetics cream blush, and this is the shade Polish. You know, I love this. It's like a beautiful coral shade. These were really, really great blushes that Melt came out with. And, you know, I was really tempted by the new Charlotte Tilbury matte blushes, but one, I usually go for something with a dewy finish. I do wear matte blushes, but the reality is that I don't need them. At least I don't need them right now. And if I do want to try, I'm going to wait till I can get them 20% off. The Charlotte Tilbury ones really look nice, but this shade is one of the shades that I was looking at in the Charlotte Tilbury blushes, like that coral shade, and I already have it. So I just have to really keep that in mind, and I have a lot of this blush left. So I was glad to bring this one out. I also brought out the Pat McGrath Duo Blush. Oh my God, y'all. So I broke my damn Paradise Glow blush. You might have seen that on my Instagram stories. And I was like, oh, it's salvageable. I can still use it. But when I went to use it with the brush that I had, which wasn't even dense, the rest of it like pretty much broke up. So I am really holding on to hope with that one. But when she has a sale or during the Sephora sale, I'm going to repurchase that one for sure. That is like one of my top blushes in my collection. But I did bring back out the Venetian Sunrise, and this was a gift from my friend Miri, who is here on YouTube. And I know this one seems really light, like it's not going to show up, but on me it just gives more of like an ethereal type vibe, and I really do like this. But I know this does not work for everybody, but you know, this did work for me, and I really didn't think this was going to work. That's why I didn't purchase it on my own. But when she gifted it to me, I definitely wanted to try it out, and I brought it out. I can't remember for what palette I was using, but I still do like that. I also brought out the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Blush, and this was in Deep Apricot. Now, these are expensive. I'm not sure if they're really worth the price, but I feel like these look nice, especially like even on your bare skin. I think these blushes look nice. I have two of them, and this looks, okay, this looks scary deep right here. That's a lot. I don't know. I like these blushes. I have Intense Coral as well. And it obviously for me is not going to take a lot. This is like a tomato type shade. I like these blushes, and I'm glad that I have them. This wouldn't be something that I need to repurchase. I feel like I have a lot left and a lot of blushes in my collection. So I'm going to continue using this as long as it lasts. And then the last blush I tried was part of, or retried, was part of palette, the Natasha Denona My Dream Cheek Trio palette, and I still do like this as well. The blush is really creamy. I don't know if feeling it is like my favorite blush, but it definitely looks nice on. It's kind of like a cool tone, like pinky color. I love the cream base, the glow cream base, and then the Dream Glow is also nice as well. I want to let you know before purchase or pass, I am deciding against the Natasha Denona Love Glam palette, or Love Glam palette, whatever, Love Face palette. I watched Charlotte Holcroft and I watched Morgan Turner, and after watching both of them, I was like, this isn't going to do anything for me. I just don't think it's her best release. Even though I do have my eye on Natasha Denona this year. I'm really looking forward to what she's going to put out. It's just probably not going to be this, because there's 4 mattes, 1 shimmer, and they're just okay. So I'm most likely deciding against that. Hello. My baby's here. Ooh, it's that, Tyrone?
Baby.
All right, I have 2 lipsticks I'm gonna talk about. So again, we have the Natasha Denona My Dream Collection lipstick in the shade Natasha. Now, I love this shade, but what I will say, I was so mad because I had done a video and was wearing this. After a while, I just feel like I can see the line that this lipstick was a bit, I don't know, because my lips are really pale, but there was that line. You know that line you get like with the lipstick if you're talking a lot? I had that line and I was so upset and I was like, I pray nobody can see this in the video. But I absolutely love this shade a lot. So you gotta be weary, you know what I'm saying, of that. Oh, I have 3 lip products actually. I have the Rare Beauty Wise, or no, Kind Words lipstick in the shade Wise. This is just like a go-to lipstick for me. I really, really like it. It's not super dark. It's still kind of like mauvey nude. And it pretty much goes with any shade that I'm gonna use, so, or eyeshadow that I'm gonna use. So I'm really happy to have this. This is the only one that I have from this launch. But overall, I think Rare Beauty comes out with a lot of nice products. Her highlighters looked really nice, but I said I was not purchasing any more highlighters. Lastly, I finally tried the Dior Lip Glow Oil. I don't think I talked about this, but I have been using this one for a couple of months now, and this is in the shade Mahogany, and I really like it. Now, I will tell you, it's kind of thick. You know which lip glow oil or lip oil I really like? I don't really have too much of a connection to the brand. I was thinking about that the other day with palettes. The one from Lunar Beauty, I just have one and I really, really like that one. And I like my Merit lip glow or lip oil. So I like this one, but I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do continue to use this. It gives you a little bit of a tint on your lips. So we're already at eyeshadow. So that's great. Let's start with, oh no, let's do eyeliner first. I did get the Victoria Beckham Beauty Vault. So it's like 6 liners. And I did that because her prices went up or were going up. And I don't know what I will be purchasing from her brand this year, but I will say that these liners are really great for my waterline. I know that some people say they don't stay for them, but for me, they stay and they don't take a lot of tugging or anything like that. It's really just a light swipe. So I have 6 shades. I love them all. If she were to have a sale and you were looking at those, I would recommend them because they're gonna last a long time because they sit in your waterline and I just have had no issues. All right, now we're at the eyeshadow. So first I want to talk about the Vive eye wands. I think these are overpriced, but they do work very nicely. But I think you can get these from other brands cheaper. So I have Mahogany and I definitely use this like for work. I think I just put this kind of in the transition area. It blends out really nice and I probably put a shimmer or not on top of it because that's kind of what I'm doing. Like just to give my eyes a little bit of contour. I would not recommend buying these at full price, but I think they're very nice. I also used the Dior Birds of a Feather Quint and didn't ever do a video on this because this was kind of a FOMO find. I thought this was a nice quint. It's better, I want to say, than this is the Nightbird. And the Early Bird, I know a lot of people had an issue with, but the shades in this are really nice. Is it anything that I don't have in my indie singles? No. But since I had it, I said I was going to use it. And I am deciding to keep this one over the Denim Quad or Quint because I just see myself using these more than that denim one. These types of blues work better for me, like the blue greens and this green here. So I did wear it. I wasn't like, you know, overwhelmed by it or anything or like, oh my gosh, you know, but I have it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to keep it. This was my palette from the BYOP Shadows on the Chopping Block. And I did create 2 looks with this palette. Just to point out a couple of shades. This one is from Celestial Nirvana by Pat McGrath. This is from Nocturnal Nirvana by Pat McGrath. And then I have some shades, some Tom Ford here, some luxury things. I am going to get rid of some. The Pat McGraths are going to stay. This Wink shade by Give Me Glow is probably going to go. Like I said, Tom Ford is going to stay. The ones from Copacetic, which are here, they're probably going to go. I don't really see myself using them too much. I'm definitely letting go of any flakies, and I do have a Pretties for Your Face here. So it's kind of nice to even go through your singles to see like what's not working. But yeah, I might keep the Tom Ford. I wasn't like overly wowed by these shades, by any of them at all actually. So some of these are going to be decluttered. We got the Whitney Houston palette by MAC Cosmetics. This is another one where was very, very disappointed. And I think I passed the time that I can return this palette. Now, after, you know, talking to you guys and looking at Whitney Houston and looking at different palettes, like I do agree, and I didn't disagree, that the color story was appropriate. I think the color story is fine, and I don't think the formula is terrible. But it just, I don't know. I just wish this was the cream formula that I like in the Feast Your Eyes palette and the Wakanda palette. That's what I thought this was. And I thought that it was going to be something that I would want to wear. But it's not. I just feel like these shimmers are a bit dusty. And just the packaging could have been a little more opulent for our Whitney. So, yeah, I'm probably going to declutter this one. I just don't ever see myself going for it. And I think I would have enjoyed having maybe the highlighter better or the blush or lipstick, but not the palette. Although the color story I do think does represent her. All right, the next two palettes we have are from Adept. Finally can talk about the Minka palette. Now, I do have the Aero palette coming with the mystery box, which I'm excited about. I need to play more with Minka and the thicker shimmers, because even though there's no glitter here, they are so wet and they remind me of glitters. They do. The only two that really don't are the shades Linda and Selena, and these are the ones that I really, really like from Adept. So maybe just figuring out exactly how I want to work with these shimmers will be the move for me. I do have hooded eyes and I have not worn this palette all day, but I can imagine that shades like this may possibly crease. So like how you use it, what you use it with, priming your eyes will probably really be beneficial. I'm curious of how it will work with like the Doraline mixing medium or like Mayron mixing medium, if it'll liquefy the shades a little more and make them a little less thick. But I do like the color story of this palette, and I think the shades are really, really beautiful. But again, these two are my favorites because they're really smooth. And then when I did the video on this palette, I did pull out the Heather Austin palette for some of the shades, especially the mattes. I continue to really enjoy this color story a lot. This will probably be really up there. Like if I were to rank my Adept palettes, this one would probably be up there because I really love all the mattes, and I don't always like the mattes that Adept chooses to have in their palettes, but this one I love all four of them. So I also have a couple more Natasha Denona products here. I did wear the My Dream palette, my black crumbling on me, because I've been doing a lot with my Natasha Denona palettes, like labeling them and things like that and rearranging them. So this one looks a bit beat up, but this palette is really not my favorite, but it's great like if you just want everyday look that's gonna work. Like if I'm gonna go to work, it's easy just for me to take pretty much any of these beiges and a shimmer and just keep it moving. So I like this palette. It's definitely something I'm gonna hold on to, and obviously I reached for it. I reached for it more than other Natasha Denona palettes that I say I like more. So that's something to be said as well. Staying on the Natasha Denona train, the other day when I did go out with my friends, the first thing I reached for was the Natasha Denona Glam Face palette in dark. And again, I really like this dark one just because you can lighten it up if you want to. But this was like a day party I was going to, and like it was at like this like speakeasy. So this just gave me like a little glam, kind of like neutral, warm, but like smoky vibe. I just think it looked really, really, really nice. All of it, like the whole palette, the blush, it all just looked great together. And I used this with the Paradise Glow, which by Pat McGrath, which still gives off like this same type of like terracotta vibe. So I was really happy with that look, and that's why I really hope that Natasha Denona continues to come out with these. I was really hoping she would come out with that Love palette in a deeper version, but she didn't. I don't think she's doing that this time, but I really love this one. A couple more palettes left. We have the Croc palette by Clarity Cosmetics. I was really happy with this palette. It's just a color story that I don't have in my collection, very unique. I'm really excited to see what Clarity is going to do this year because they have like a double drop coming. One palette's going to be a bridal palette, wedding party. I can't remember what the other one's called, but I love this. The shimmers in this are great. The mattes are, to me, nothing to write home about, but I can work with them. You know what I mean? I can really work with them for these shimmers, and the looks that I made with this palette came out really beautiful. I think this palette is going to be permanent in their collection, and maybe they will redo it with the smaller pans. I know Clarity talked about releasing palettes in the smaller pans because these are just ginormous. So I'd like to see them do that, and maybe they can produce more palettes. And last for eyeshadow, I have the Sydney Grace January bundle, and I told you I already got the February bundle, well, ordered it. So this one came with a cream. I was really excited. I made some really nice looks. I love the cream shade. I love the looks I created with this, and it was so like anti-January. You know what I mean? It was like hopes of spring. So I was really excited about this. All right, so that was that. So the February bundle I'm excited about because it has the eyeshadows, a highlighter, and a cream lipstick. And so that one's like $29 versus like $20 or $23, but then you can still use a discount code. So I cannot wait for that to come. But I'm really excited about getting these every month. I'm loving this idea from Sydney Grace, and again, really loving what Sydney Grace is doing on their Instagram with duping mainstream palettes, high-end palettes, and things like that, because their shades are like, the quality is like luxury quality and it's super affordable. All right, so we're pretty much done. I just want to share a fragrance that I've really liked this month, and this is from Dossier, and this is called Fruity Almond. The top notes are almond and peach. The middle notes are orris, orange blossom, and tuberose. And then the base notes are tonka bean, vanilla, and cocoa. It just smells really good. During their Black Friday sale, I got like 8 fragrances. So I'm really trying to get to know these, and this is one I continue to gravitate towards. You know, they do have the Tom Ford dupes for Tobacco Vanille, which is called Powdery Tobacco, and then Lost Cherry, which is Ambery Cherry. And I love those two. Like, I will most likely not be purchasing the Tom Ford anymore. I'm not sure which one this is the inspiration for. I'll have to put it in the description box, but I just love the smell. I went for this fragrance by the notes. So yeah, really excited about that. So that is everything that I tried this month. I feel really good about it. I feel really good about going into that Melt blush, because with all the blushes that have come out like last year, that's one that could easily go by the wayside, and just kind of circulating things around in my collection. I'm really happy about it, and I'd love to know what you really loved in January or what you're really loving now. Definitely share that with me in the comments, because I love talking about makeup, and I kind of get the vibe that all of us are trying to do better with our purchases, because we have really nice things in our collection, whether it's luxury, mainstream, drugstore, whatever it is, whatever your preference is, indie. We have things that we like, but we are beauty hostages, you know, and we just feel tempted to, you know, get things that are new. But I'm just really saying it's nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean? A lot of things are just coming around again for the second, third, fourth, fifth time. You know, I've only been in this little makeup community for going on 3 years, but you know, I'm seeing it even just from being on YouTube since 2020. Like, I'm seeing a lot of repeats, and I have to just start thinking about that. But it's hard when you have a big collection, you really lose sight of things. And I'm trying to regain that so that, you know, we can use our money for other things, or for releases that are really worth being added to our collection. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for taking off some of your time and hanging out with me for another one. I hope this was therapy for you, because it always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.